All right. Good evening. Well, good late evening, everybody. It's 9 o'clock on the West Coast, of course. So, last podcast of the year. And hey, we're going to do something a little bit different tonight. We're not going to ask questions. This is a year in review 2023. Open sports topics. That's right. Of course, I'm joined by the host with the most, the man, the myth, the legend, the principal Tap. And then I've got in the lower row, of course, we've got Mr. Hall of Famer, Mr. 15,000, a close personal buddy of mine, Mr. T. Rex. And on the bottom again, one of our favorite guests. He is a drinking fool. He is a kitty cat with 9 lives and a really awesome cat, Tomcat Jones. And then there's the man from wherever. He weighs whatever. He can't kick his mom out of his house today because he's not even in his house today. That's right. He's up in the hospital.
Needs to fix his camera.
And, about a little bit more about this man. He can't pick sports teams to save his life, everybody, but we'll get into that a little bit later. Mr. Nathan Noss, our beloved Messiah. But
how's it going, everybody?
The reason I really wanted to do this tonight was to show you that, hey, the Messiah really isn't dead. He is alive, like I promised you. So
I thought it was 50-50.
All right. So, of course, Messiah, it's your show. So you can go ahead and pick your first topic, I guess.
I kind of feel like I'm on my other mask.
Well, first of all, Mr. Tomcat, sir, congratulations on a great match with Rashad at the CPW show.
Thank you.
Sick move when you had to catch him when he did the crossbody off the...
I was actually the one who did the crossbody, and he had to catch me.
Okay, my mistake and my correction.
It definitely was your mistake and your correction. Thank you for correcting yourself.
You're welcome.
I really hope you guys can't see my face right now.
No, we can't.
How is that?
So, what's the first sports topic you guys want to talk about?
Can we talk about how there's nothing to talk about the CPW Cruiserweight Championship match? Because even though I lost, I'm going to come back stronger in 2024. And I'm going to run that CPW Cruiserweight division. Because, I gave Rashad hell. I feel like I gave him one of the best matches that he's had in CPW. And, I'll be the first to admit that I've cheated to win a match. But he did have Dustin to help him win. And the only reason why it hurts a little more is because, Daddy Jeff is my dad and Dustin is my nephew. So, like, having my dad pick the golden boy over me, I'm not mad or anything. I'm just a little hurt. But he's going to see how it feels when, Team Jeff is no more. Because, I was never officially Team Jeff. I was just affiliated with Team Jeff. But I've never been Team Jeff or Team Athon. I've always been Team Family. And now that my brother Andrew, he's kind of seeing the ways. And, at CPW, he was in a championship match against SP8. And let's just say he won the match. He doesn't know how he won the match. All he knows is he woke up and SP8 wasn't there. I took care of SP8 for you, Andrew. I did what we needed for you to become champion, or still become champion. And now that my brother, he's kind of seeing the race of Tomcat, Nina is also seeing the race of Tomcat. Shit, maybe we can become CPW and Inclusion Tag Team Champions. While he's CPW Family Champion, I'm CPW Inclusion Champion. And then I think we just gotta find 2 single belts in Inclusion we want to go after. Because I personally want to go after the Evergreen belt. I think he wants to go after the Evergreen belt. So that might be a conflict of issues right there. But me and Andrew, we can talk about it. I love my boy.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was the first topic I wanted to talk about was everything going on in CPW. And then we can also talk about the new international champion at CPW, Jameson Moonshine. Or as I heard him called, JMO. That's pretty big because I think Chris Marks was over 1,000 days as champion.
Oh, wow.
Cousin Jameson comes in and he just, I think it was a triple threat match. It was Chris Marks versus Louise versus Jameson. And Jameson, with the help with his new manager, John Davidson, he took it home.
Interesting.
But yeah, also let's talk about how that was the last show at the Mookwood and how our next show is gonna be in Linwood. And we're gonna have a wrestling ring, dude.
Wow.
You can say that Tomcat he's not his full potential unless he's in that squared circle. He's got some ropes to bounce off of. Because when I jump off of the top rope, that's not gonna fall down with me. Like that shit at the Muckwood. Nate, come on, dog. You gotta fix your camera again.
Well, you
I'm
know
not
what,
trying
guys?
to do a nostril.
I'm gonna do something a little bit different this year. I just took some medicine that made me kind of tired, so unfortunately, I'm gonna back out extremely early. So you guys have a great New Year, and I'll keep watching. How's that sound?
That sounds appropriate because I got the stream pulled up. So I'll talk to you, and I hope you have a good night, Nate.
All
right. Have a good one, my man.
Have a good one, Nate.
Yep.
I'll talk to you tomorrow or tonight or whenever I see you again.
He didn't care when you talk to him.
Wow, that's rude.
Yeah.
I'll have to remember that. Anyways, oh well, I guess he's not here to talk about the rest of the good stuff. But we still got at least one booker. At least one booker of inclusion still here. So I still feel a little bit whole. We've still got the actual host of this podcast here. So
Yeah,
I think yeah, exactly, Tomcat. So I think this podcast will be okay.
Hold up. I'm getting Simmons playback. I don't know whose it is, but I'm getting Simmons audio playback. I had to make sure it wasn't mine. It's not mine. No, I'm not getting the Hugburger at all because he's muted.
Oh, sorry. I was talking to family real quick.
So. You're all good.
Anyways, in NFL news, this week, the Dallas Cowboys, hey, at least they're doing better than the Seattle Seahawks.
Everybody's doing better than the Seattle Seahawks, but I got to say this. Did y'all see that merger today? That Seattle team that was with XFL no longer? I know that's got to break Tomcat's heart. But
okay, so I've been listening to the rumors this whole time, and they took my money for my season tickets for 2024 2 months ago. And they haven't given me a refund yet. And as much as like everybody's saying Seattle is gone, and I kind of believe it at this point. But I'm being the crazy man who's like being hopeful. Like I haven't got my refund yet. Let's hope they have a 2024 season, and the UFL is like, hey, let's see how the revenue goes for the top 12 teams. But yeah, it's just heartbreaking, dude, because Seattle, like, first off, the UFL is gonna have no West Coast based teams. Like I feel like I can't even support the league because they don't even have a California or a Idaho or any West Coast teams. The closest team is St. Louis or Texas.
You can pull the plug there now for you.
Like,
That one did not work.
Well,
I'll
what's
try my
crazy,
best.
crazy, and I'll reiterate on that is it's okay. So think about it like this. I'm a Blazer fan, but like when the Sonics got ripped, they took the Sonics in the middle of the night too, literally, and that was crazy for Seattle. What's weird about Seattle is it seems like they always have a team that gets ripped like every 15 years. So yeah, I feel for you on that. But like I said, back to the Cowboys. So what I will say is Pat, by the way, congratulations on those Rams.
Thank you.
The gentleman that's off the screen now that's just listening or whatever said the Rams wouldn't be that good this year. And I believe Mr. Wagner up there, the Heartbreaker, said the same. So time to make them eat crow, Pat. Let's make them eat crow.
Yep.
Let's make them eat crow. Because I'll start the chant for you now. Fire Pete Carroll.
Well, they need to.
If we're talking about firing head coaches,
I started.
can Arthur Smith get fired from Falcons head coach? Please? He is. I kind of don't even want to speak about it because I feel like I'll get too passionate about it. There might be a hole in my heart by the end of this conversation.
Well, you probably feel the same way about your head coach as I feel about the Seahawks head coach because, the beloved Seahawks would never have lost Russell Wilson 4 years ago if Pete Carroll was gone at the very beginning. All of this turmoil and debacle in Seattle. I'm sorry, yes, I like the Seahawks, but, I've grown as a person. And I've grown to respect other teams. Carroll, you were great in college. You're a great NFL head coach, but dude, your ship has sailed. Take a note from Mr. Belichick there in New England, and go sail away at the end of the year. Walk out with dignity. Walk out with pride. Before you hear the famous words from Vincent Kennedy McMahon, you're fired.
He says this, and then Belichick's going to sign for another year.
You might see that too. Belichick might be gone. Yeah, I don't know. Interesting football year. That's what I'll say. Teams that you didn't think would be in it, like Cleveland Browns. Oh God, Cleveland Browns. Joe Flacco, comeback player of the year.
I'd like to make Seahawks fans mad by saying that Metcalf is going to get traded in the offseason because JSN is taking his job. Hey, if you guys hear that fireworks, that's outside my house. I'm sorry.
No, it's all good. Now, the Seahawks need to trade Metcalf to get draft picks. For what? To get themselves a quarterback because, I'm sorry, reality, Russell Wilson is not coming back to Seattle.
Geno Smith isn't the move for next year either. Geno Smith had his best season last season, and then everybody believed in the hype.
And that's what I was telling everybody. Yeah, he had one good year, and now he's back to the same average, mediocre quarterback that used to play. And I know when I'm beat, used to play in LA.
Also played in Minnesota.
I think this is also the season where the most starting NFL quarterbacks started because of so many players have been taken out. Like the Browns are the first teams to make the playoffs with 4 different starting quarterbacks this season,
Yeah, that's the truth.
which is pretty nutty. Which I don't know. I feel like that's just made the field of play a little bit smaller because we usually don't have this many blowouts in a single season. Oh shit! Somebody just said in my stream, Tomcat will shit on all your little box pussy. So that's a direct quote from my streamers. Just remember that. So inclusion wrestling, watch out.
Well, as one booker that's left on here, I will say we accept all that, and we appreciate that hearing. And I will say, Tomcat, and if Andrew's not on here, but I'm sure he knows. You guys
Yeah,
are
I'm
always
waiting for
you guys
Andrew.
are always welcome to try to go for any title you want. Uh, you guys are always welcome.
I I wish Andrew was here so I could tell him that any title he wants, like if it's a single belt, I'm gonna take it from him. Just because I want him to come get the tag belts with me. And
But
you know,
while we're on the talk of inclusion, I will say I thought that our first show was good, and I want to thank you personally. But 2024, we got some big things getting ready to happen. So anybody out there listening, Inclusion Pro Wrestling, we will be back stronger than ever. We will be back bigger ever, and we are looking always for talent, and we are always looking to inquire. So if you have any questions, get a hold of me, Nate, and the man up there, and the Heartbreaker, because we're always looking for talent, and well, expect big things out of Inclusion Pro Wrestling in 2024.
when's the next show?
Nick's show is
January or February?
Nick's show is tentatively set for for February 24th.
And can I talk about my match? Or I know it hasn't been announced yet, but can I announce it?
What the hell?
Mr. Booker,
What the hell?
sure, go for it,
So-
Tomcat.
You said it was November or February?
February 24th.
February 24th, it's gonna be Tomcat Jones versus SP8 because this guy is online talking about how I screwed him over in the match. Yeah, I might have screwed you over, bud, but that's your fault for not being smart enough to stay focused on your match. You let the styrofoam head distract you from losing a championship. And now you're gonna blame me just because I took it out of your way? Man, just like I hope that Andrew understand that he needs to unlock another level of himself, I'm trying to help you understand that you don't need your little styrofoam head to tell you what you need to do. And, if we don't talk about the match that showed me yet, we'll run and run. So if you want to settle the score, I told you I could make it a thing. So I went ahead and I went to the inclusion bookers and I said I'm on SP8 no matter what the next show. No matter what championship opportunity you give me, no matter how much money you give me for whatever match you give me, it's not enough. Because I want to kick SP8 right in his face and settle the score. So February, whatever the date was, it's Tomcat Jones for his SP8. And SP8, you're going to be waking up looking at the lights. And when you wake up, you're going to see Tomcat Jones standing right over you. And I'm not even going to have you in my hand this time. Because last time you beat me, I shook your hand out of respect. But this time, it's out of respect for myself.
Well, as a man that used to manage SPA, and you never know, I might again. What I will say about that is if he got distracted by his foam head again, I've been telling him in the past, man, don't worry about the head, but he should probably worry about Tomcat. I agree. Which, by the way, I will say, if I had a vote and we did awards, I would say you're the most improved in 2023.
I appreciate that.
Honestly, and that's coming from me. But we don't have like an official thing. But like you've improved since I first seen you, kid. So, and man, hopefully one day I'll get to see you in the big show. And
I really
that-
appreciate that.
Yep.
Oh man, you got me off guard that one. Yeah, that one actually got me, T-Rex. I really appreciate it because sometimes I do really doubt myself because I'm a big family man, and sometimes I feel bad because I'm not out training 5 days a week. But yeah,
I'm gonna give you one word of advice, man, and I've told you this before. You're only as good as the last match you had, brother. And to be honest with you, you may not train 5 days a week, but you train enough, and I've seen you work. So that's why I said, in my opinion, I think you're the 2023 most improved wrestler in the Northwest, in my opinion. Not just inclusion, and in my opinion, but like in the Northwest.
Man, I'm happy I have this mask on because you might see me getting teary-eyed right now. Like, that honestly means a lot to me. Like, this, like, I always said that in CPW, I might have had the CPW comeback of the year because I came back in January. I won the CPW Family Championship. I held it for 5 months. I competed for the International Championship. I competed for the Cruiserweight Championship. But I wasn't ready for what T-Rex said. Like, I really appreciate it. And I've noticed myself, like, the past couple matches I've had, I've definitely improved. But I've never put myself over anybody else or anything like that. And that's one of the things I got to get over is I'm always worried that I'm not as good as everybody else thinks I am. And that's when the hurdles I got to get over. So just again, I really appreciate you, T-Rex.
And that's very well said, Mr. Tomcat, because that T-Rex, man, he should be a motivational fucking speaker because he motivates a lot of people.
Man, I might get T-Rex to be my manager now. Shit.
Yeah, I mean,
Hey,
he motivates.
I'm open to manage, and that's what I'm wanting to do. So, Tomcat, maybe you can become part of Rex Enterprises. I mean, there's possibility I could get you to the top, kid.
We can hit the double T on them.
There you go. We can call it the TNT connection.
Mm-hmm. Get him a mask.
I could get a mask. I think I'd look well in a mask. It'd cover up this face sometimes.
I was just gonna say that, I mean, it would cover up that fluffy face. I'm sorry, Nathan's not here, so I've got to do the Messiah bit too. I got to play 2 characters tonight.
Yeah, everybody says I got a face for radio, so.
Well, I mean, the nice thing is, hey, this podcast is a little bit better tonight without having to listen to the paint drying. So, Nathan, we love you. We miss you. But, damn, I wish we could do this all the time. Just kidding.
Sometimes I feel like I gotta take that championship off my wall, though, because, my arm feels a little weird having on my shoulder. This shoulder still hurts from getting kicked in the chest multiple times from Rashad Tyson. You guys probably can't see it, but I had a bruise. You can see it at all. I have a bruise right here.
Yeah.
That's from his TikTok. And then the match was 2 days ago.
Look at that there. Look at that chest.
Oh, that's savage right there, bro. Oh.
Yeah,
coming from a man that's done this 24 years, that's brutal looking. Oh, that's brutal looking. That looks like a piece of worn out hamburger, bro.
You know
But,
when
you know-
they're getting you good on the chops and when it feels like a fucking sunburn. You know what I mean? But you don't want to put on your t-shirt or nothing. You don't even want to shower afterwards because the shower is gonna hurt your chest. And also just the beat, like right here, it's been so swollen up where like even when I like go to bed and I like, cause I have a newborn child, you know, trying to hold my son. I can't even hold my son right now because my chest is so beat up. Like Rashad, I'm gonna try my best to get that title out of you, but I understand why you're at the New Japan Dojo up in Canada, dude. Talk about fucking strong style. Kick the shit out of me. I mean, fucking, after he hit me with a few good licks, I felt like I had to fucking just pop him a few good times just to show him I'm not gonna just take it, you know? But fucking Christ, dude, like, I'm still feeling that shit in my chest.
I bet. But, you know, I'm glad Tomcat brought up titles because, and I'm glad we're on this podcast tonight. Here in about 4 days, 5 days, you know, around the 4th or 5th, we're going to come on and do another podcast special. That's right. We're going to unveil, and Mr. T-Rex, you might want to book this date. We're going to unveil the brand new, beautiful Inclusion Heavyweight Championship. Miss Sunny Days, we got you a belt.
Can I say real quick? I mean, not to cut your show off or nothing, but honestly, I think that's a good move. And you let me know, and yes, I can come on and help with that or whatever. But and again, because I haven't really gotten to thank her on this podcast from being one of the bookers of Inclusion Pro Wrestling. But Miss Sunny Days, this is for you, and just so you know, 2024, big plans for you, sweetheart. We did something that no other promotion's done except for TNA. We put a heavyweight title on a woman, and to all the haters out there that say, "Oh, that we shouldn't have done that. A woman has no place in this business." Say that to Sunny Days' fucking face, okay? That's all I'm going to say to you, because Sunny Days has earned everything she's gotten, and I'm tired of reading on people's pages. I'm tired of hearing about people messaging me saying we made the wrong choice. So I'm here to tell you tonight. I haven't been drinking. I haven't drank in a year, and I'm telling you this straight up, honest, real. We're lucky to have her. We're lucky to
drinking, and you go ahead and you say that to Sunny Day's face. You go ahead and you say that to my mama's Yvonne's face, that they picked the wrong choice with going with a woman as a pro wrestler. That's two women I've never messed with because they'd leave me in the dirt as soon as I spoke. You know, you talk about Sunny Days, you talk about Mama Yvonne, you talk about Jordan Grace. Jordan Grace would fold me up in the suitcase, man.
That's the truth.
I have one that would love to have him in there.
Yeah, just bring it to the next. If you book Jordan Grace, just bring your suitcase, T-Rex, and I'll go home with him.
I have a suitcase that would definitely help with that, man. Harold would be all over that.
So.
But you know,
now since we're on, give me to somebody.
You know, and now since we're on the inclusion kick again, you know, I've got to do a little thank you. I know it wasn't all Mr. Jones's idea, but Tomcat, good son, thank you for the idea for the Evergreen title. It was a great idea, a great belt creation, a great name for the title. And that belt will be unveiled probably pretty soon as well. And I don't know. I've got to talk to the booking team on what we're going to do with that one yet. But I can see some tournaments coming up for some titles here pretty soon. But, you know, Miss Days, yours will be here in 4 or 5 days. Evergreen title is on its way. And then after that, we're going to take a break and just run with those three for a while, build our tag division, build our women's division. We'll have tag titles and women's titles in the near future. Might not be this year, might be next year, could be later down this year. Who the hell knows? That's why we are an independent pro wrestling company. We do what we want when we want.
So, with the
Production meetings in a little hat and a stupid pair of sunglasses on a media scrum.
on the wig.
Yeah.
Did you guys see that last night? By the way? My God.
And we'll get into. I'm glad you brought that up because we'll get into World's End again too. Again, and maybe it's this talking, but goddamn, when I'm wrong, I'm wrong. The devil. Fuck you, Tony Khan. Bravo. Some people are gonna say it was dumb booking. Some people are gonna say it was smart booking. You swerved us from the very beginning.
Who's Adam Cole?
Bravo.
No, who's Adam Cole?
Well, you were probably the only one.
If they wanted to swerve us, they would have had to be NCO.
Well, you're probably the only one, Mr. Tomcat, that thought it was Adam Cole, baby, the entire time.
Do you not remember that one promo where they were in the locker room talking and the devil mask was right behind Adam Cole?
Yes,
every time one time Adam Cole and MJF were in a promo together, and before the devil showed up on the screen, Adam Cole went like this and pushed the button. And the devil popped up.
Obviously,
Okay, tell me you saw that Wardlow was one of the members. Please tell me that.
I put that together towards the end. I didn't think he was an original member.
Because there was multiple times there was a big-ass masked man fighting somebody, and in the next match, Wardlow would come out looking like he had hat hair.
Yes,
wearing the same boots.
And it's like I said, again, bravo TK for swerving us because I'll be honest. I thought it was Sami Callihan and BCC.
And I have to admit, I thought it was Sami too.
Sami Callihan would be dope. Thumbs up, thumbs down.
I thought it was Callihan and the BCC, honestly.
I know some people would have been upset at this, but I thought it was going to be Nick Nemeth.
That was another one of my picks was Dolph.
Could you imagine if it was Nick Nemeth and Matt Cardona and get a few other guys? That'd be so sweet. It'd be like 2023 NWO. 2024, I guess.
Yeah. That was my other one there.
And have right back. Oh, are we not right back fans here? I'm just kidding.
All right, but I mean, no, I didn't see the show. I just, I caught part of it just through the highlights, but I did see the stupid media scrums where Tony Khan looked extremely dorky, extremely stupid. I mean, okay, I dogged him for that damn cowboy hat, but dude, really a freaking wig and sunglasses? I mean, come on, bruh.
When it's at the point where I don't watch the media scrum, but I see a meme of it, and I legit think it's a Photoshop of this motherfucker in a wig and sunglasses, there's something wrong.
Seriously,
do you not have the common sense to be like, oh, I'm talking about women's safety in pro wrestling. Let me take off this silly fucking disguise that I got on.
The fact that I actually agree with you on that is the honest to God's truth. I mean, if you've watched enough of those media scrums, if you've seen enough of the production shit, yeah, I'm not sure if Tony Khan's having a midlife crisis or what's going on there, but Jesus Christ, man.
And also, I'm not saying because of all the stuff Chris Jericho is being accused of at the moment, I'm not saying you should suspend him, but you should have been smart enough to pull him off of the show because
Yep.
you know the wrestling fans are gonna just get him.
All right, I'm gonna
He
I'm
could
gonna
have been testing it, but still, it was a bad test.
I'm gonna shoot straight now. I think he needs to be suspended indefinitely, until the allegations are either proven that he didn't do it, and if he did do it, then I mean he's got to pay the price. But if he didn't do it and it comes out, then back. But I agree with you 100% on that, Tomcat. I'm not a fan of any sexual bullshit like that behind the scenes, during the scenes, in the scenes. Um, it kind of actually floored me, to be honest with you.
And you
When
know
I,
the shittiest part about it is because it's depending on who the person is who gets accused of it. Like if I got accused of something, people would probably be like, "Oh no, not Tom Cat." But with Chris Jericho, when I heard it, I was like, "Yeah, I can believe it."
you know what's weird is they say all the time in our business that in our country too, you're innocent until proven guilty. But in the eyes of the people, dude, you can't do that. Like, and for Khan to deflect it, pardon my language, but he's a piece of shit. Um, you have to step in. You're the owner of the company. You have to do something. You cannot say, "Oh, that's the safest locker room on the planet." Really? Because
And then 2 months ago, he can say he was scared for his life.
I mean,
they've had locker room bros.
Yeah,
I mean,
he said it's the safest locker room. Then 2 months ago, he said, I gotta fire this guy because I've never been so scared for my life in a pro wrestling show before. Make up your mind, is it safe or is it dangerous?
but that same locker room actually turned on Tony Khan and started backing CM Punk.
Very true. They sure did. And that's another situation that I don't want to touch on, but I still think that he says it's a safe locker room and it's a safe environment, and he said it last night on the scrum. If you heard him, that he in his mind it's the safest in the industry. Well, I'm not so sure about that because I can tell you right now that if that happened to any promotions that I worked for, somebody would be either suspended or fired, and B, if you wrongly fire somebody from their job, he has every right to sue you. Just saying.
Thank you, Mama Ifan. It is definitely the owner's job to make sure that the locker room is a safe space.
Absolutely.
If there's some shit going on, it's your promotion. It's not my promotion. It's not this guy's promotion. If me and him have beef, that's me and his beef. It's not CPW's beef. It's not somebody else's beef. That's between me and him outside of the locker room. Don't drag down the whole company. Just like AEW had one of the biggest shows in the Wembley Stadium. But what is everybody talking about? CM Punk and Jack Perry. Fake glass, please. Like, it's crazy. This is the part of like the wrestling business I hate.
Well, like I said, when you have an accusation like that, it's and I agree with you, Vaughn. It's the owner's job. It's not a booker's job. It's not the wrestler's job. The other thing he does is have a disciplinary team filled with wrestlers. Now, how fair is that? If we're going to be realistic, how fair is that you're having wrestlers discipline other wrestlers? That's also the owner of the company's job. That's a management thing. And you have Brian Danielson, whatever you want to call him, levying fines for people like on Twitter and Facebook. Are we 3? I mean, are we 3 years old? I mean, for real, man. Tony Khan, man, if you're listening, grow the fucking set, be a man, and you know what? Take control of the situation.
Like, I know there's some people will say like, oh, WWF had the wrestlers cut, but that was for stuff that happened between the boys in the locker room. That wasn't beyond the locker room shit. That was, you actually had guys who was like, hey, let's put a fucking stop to this nonsense. Let's keep the kayfabe. Like, I don't know, dude. I feel like I can't say enough and get my point across on this thing because it's just, yeah. That's all I gotta say. It's just something else.
Yeah. All right, so let's get on another touching topic. You know, like I said, Mr. Messiah, you know, he chose this time to actually spend time in the hospital to get better so he doesn't have to do another damn surgery. But, you know, let me be real with you guys here. He can't afford to do another surgery. There is scar tissue on his back that they cannot do another surgery physically. So he's choosing to go up in the hospital and stay in the hospital and have this thing healed the correct way, which I think he should have did the first time. But we all live and we all learn. So, Messiah, take as much time as you need, my man. Heal up. You know, as you can tell, your podcast is in great hands. Well, I hope at least.
Messiah, you can always count
So
on
we-
the
jokes,
TJ.
please.
What's that, Mark?
Said cut out the hand jokes.
I didn't have any pun intended in that, man.
I'm just holding my faith, dog. He's up because I'm fancy.
But
Not you, Tomcat. I'm talking about. And Pat, man, you got some voice here. Speak up, man. You're the voice of the voiceless. Come
I feel
on.
like I haven't heard Top talk the whole time. He's more like the voiceless of the voiceless.
Well, I was just listening to what you guys were talking about.
it's not about you, Tap. Shut the hell up.
Now hold up. I know Top has some shit to say about me not getting the Cruiserweight Championship belt last Friday. So go ahead, Top. Let's hear it.
What, that you fought one heck of a match?
I gotta give you a standing ovation for that, man, dude. I wasn't expecting
I have
that one.
nothing. I have nothing bad to say about that match. That could have gone either way.
Rashad is a hell of a champion. That's all I'll say. And I feel I think he's been champion since 2022. And that's a feat in itself. Like, there's been no other CPW Cruiserweight champion. Like, CPW family champion, there was Cody, there was me, there's Andrew now. But there was only one Cruiserweight champion. And, you know, I realized why he's kept the belt for so long. But, you know, maybe I gotta step it up. Maybe I gotta get some of my boys in the back to come help me. I don't know, but by the end of 2024, that Cruiserweight Championship is coming home with Tomcat. Because I need something to make my kids think I'm cooler than I am. You know, if I
They're
bring...
already going to think you're an awesome dad. So
Yeah, all the
Well,
stuff I see and read about you, bro. Honestly, congrats on the new one. By the way, I haven't gotten this. I don't think I've seen you since you had the new one. Oh wait, Thanksgiving, yes. But congrats on the new addition to your family. They're our family, everybody's family.
Yep.
And yeah, congrats. And just make sure that if you have to deal with these two up top here, man, make sure next time that they have a face for radio too.
Yep.
I
That's for
had to.
sure.
Sorry, I love these guys.
Well, you know, I mean, I'm glad you went there because, you know, Tomcat's not the only person that's had a baby here recently. Mr. John Davidson, I believe, just had a son, you know, and that little boy and I are going to share a very special bond because that boy was brought into the world on the Heartbreaker's birthday. That's right, little man. You share a birthday with the Heartbreaker.
CM
Oh.
Punk's WWE return was also inclusions for his show. Just to remind you guys.
That's true.
I was actually in the locker room 2 minutes before my match. Someone had this Survivor Series going on the cell phone, and I watched CM Punk make his entrance like 60 seconds before I made my match. And the whole day I was making jokes, talking about, hey, I'm drinking a Pepsi can. That means that CM Punk's going to be back in WWE.
You know about that? Oh, it's funny. I think it was the biggest pop I've heard in WWE in probably 5 years. To be honest, and then Orton the same. It was like, whoa! It was just a mind blown that they brought them both back at the same time. And so touching on that, I really think those are your two next champions, CM Punk and Randy Orton. Just my opinion. I think that's what's going to happen in 2024. We're going to see that streak end, and we're going to see a man who was wrongfully accused and fired get his revenge.
You're 50% right. I think you're right on Punk. I think you're wrong on Orton.
Why you say that? Just for curiosity.
I think it's going to be Punk and Cody carrying WWE into the future.
I mean, okay, so here's my thing. I think Cody's going. I think they're going to do that. I think they're going back with those tag titles. I think you can see it coming. Jimmy and Cody again, and I really think that's where we're going. But I mean, maybe I'm wrong. But I think they're going to try to get Orton at least one more before he's gone.
Probably, yeah.
And make him 15. So I mean, I don't think he'll catch Cena, and I don't think he'll catch Flair. But maybe. But if Rhodes won it, hey, I'm not opposed to that. But I will tell you, I think CM Punk's going to win the title.
One thing about the double return I want to touch about, and especially because we're talking about people's locker room etiquette, that means so much to Randy Orton to be like, yeah, I'll have my return with the biggest return of the century. Like, because he could have went to WWE and been like, no, I don't want to return in the CM Punk returns. That's going to fucking undermine my return. But he knew that was going to happen. He's like, yeah, I'll return on the same night CM Punk returns because I'm a big enough star where I can make it work. At the end of the day, people are going to love Randy Orton. No matter how big the upset is or how big the reaction is for CM Punk returning, I'm fucking Randy Keith Orton. And, that's just one of those things where, like, if it was 20, 25 years ago, if it was Hogan in that situation, we might have not got that double return because Hogan might have not wanted the upstage at that point because Orton knew he was going to get upstage with CM Punk's return. But Orton, he did enough in that match, and Orton is enough of a character on his own where no matter what happens to Orton, he's still fucking Randy Orton at the end of the day.
The touch basis on Orton, which is funny. You compared that, right? I saw something recently. I think Roman Reigns has only defended the title like 50-something times in his reign. Hulk Hogan did like 400 and something at that point. So
it was 54 for Roman Reigns, and Seth Rollins is at 56.
What's funny, Hulk Hogan on his 1,000-day reign or whatever it was, did over 400. 400. And Bruno, so and people sit here and say Roman's a Hall of Famer. Well, okay, Roman's a Hall of Famer, but like defend the title more than once a month, or more than once a year. You became Brock Lesnar now.
Andrew said his phone's almost dead, so here's to you guys.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord. Cheers. It's non-alcoholic, but cheers.
Yep, and yeah.
But
That's the
there
reason
is a
Andrew's...
wrestler that Roman Reigns will never catch.
Oh,
that has been champion for 20 years.
Bruno Sammartino.
No, the Fabulous Moolah.
Fabulous movie, yes, was an innovator for sure, Pat. Absolutely. I don't think anybody's touching that record. I don't care if it's
There's
Rome.
no one that will be able to touch that record.
But again, that was an era of wrestling that was needed. That was another where women really started to make their way. And speaking of that, did you guys, any of you catch last night? 3 women's matches on that, by the way. Kudos to that. I mean, women are starting to make this division and make this, like I said, what we did. Not many companies have done.
oof. I'm sorry, T-Rex.
So, I mean, to be honest, guys, we did some history this year ourselves. I mean, by the way, we're forgetting one of our champions too, Lance Dean. Congratulations, and you did a fantastic job. This guy here is really proud of you that you're right here. Yes, this guy right here. See, yeah, really proud of you. You've came a long ways in the 8 years that I've gotten to see you wrestle, and I've seen you from the start. Not only do I call you friend, but I call you family now. And again, big things for you in 2024. Tomcat as well. Big things for you in 2024.
Can I say something more fast?
Go ahead.
2024, I have been on so many cards with Lance Dean, and I wanted that college championship for my. I want to be the first winner of that college, but it was Lance Dean, and you can have the better guy as the champion for your first, especially than Lance Dean. But I've never had a match with Lance Dean, and even if it's a non-title match, I want to go up with Lance Dean. It would be even better if I get to take that college championship from him. So Lance Dean, I don't know if you're listening, but someone will probably tell you, 2024, you and Tomcat are gonna lock up, and you might not like the end, but I'm gonna love it. So you just said his name, and that made me think about it. But that's gonna be a hell of a match. I feel like Lance Dean versus Tomcat Jones. Like, I don't know. I'll take him on in a singles regular rules match. I'll take him on in a no DQ match. If you're hearing that noise right now, it's my hamsters making noise in the back. And I will also take him on in the Four Corners match. Because Lance Dean, he just feels like the old school badass. And I want to take the old school badass on in the Four Corners match. Or in something like that. In something old school. So I can show his ass. But even the new school knows the old school.
What do you think about this, Tomcat? What do you think about this? I like the Four Corners, but what about this? What about a blind man's bluff match, blindfolded?
You know, in real life, I wear glasses, so I've lived my life blind. So I feel like I got the advantage.
I'm just thinking something old school, but I like that. Or like maybe it's the Four Corners match, but I haven't seen one of these for a while, and he's old school, and I'm sure maybe you'd be down to do this. Maybe a leather strap even.
You just heard me talking about how much I loved how Rashad kicked my ass. So a leather strap would leave the perfect welt on my back. So I'm kind of feeling like if it's not a strap match at this point, then why even have the match? You know? Ooh, I just keep on imagining that sound of a belt just on someone's back. And it's getting the old, Diamond Cutters hold, you know.
A diamond cutter. Yeah, yeah.
But going back to Randy Orton, I know he has a triple threat coming up. I actually see Roman interfering in that match and forcing a fatal 4-way at the Rumble.
You think Roman decrowns it, or do you think Randy has a chance to dethrone him at all? Anybody on this panel think that? Because I do. I think he's got about 25% chance to.
I actually think Orton
It's
can
gonna be
do it.
Braun Breaker.
I really believe Orton can do it. But the only problem is he has to find a way to neutralize the bloodline.
There is a 25% chance that whoever's gonna dethrone Roman Reigns isn't even on the WWE roster right now.
And I think one of the surprises for the Rumble is going to be, and I think Tomcat kind of hit it on it, is going to be Breaker.
I can tell you guys for a fact that Tomcat's not gonna be a Rumble entrant. I can tell you that right now. Don't put your money on me.
Yeah, I can tell you right now, I'm not an entrant. Unless they got the old dirt talk guys, that's me, man. You put me in that.
But that's someone I would put my money on. Steve X.
Oh wow, that's for coming from you, Tomcat. I respect that because you're a young guy, like I said. And again, my opinion, 2023, he's the most improved guy in the Northwest. And I'm not just saying that on behalf of inclusion. I'm saying that as I really believe that you've came a long ways, man. And I've watched you in over a year now that I've gotten to see you, roughly, maybe a year and a half, go from that guy. And you ask a lot of questions still, even to guys like me. So like you're still willing to learn. You're still willing to progress. You're not one of these guys that yeah, you're not one of these guys that just sit there and freaking say you're gonna do something. You go out and you prove it every time. And again, Tony, this is to you too. I've watched you grow. I've made you grow. I've seen you go from a guy that didn't really want to be in the wrestling business to now you. Not only are you hosting a podcast, you're now a owner in a pro wrestling company. So that goes to you too. I mean, you might be the one I'm going to teach the most. And I told you that. Pat, I've gotten to know you this last about year and a half, and here's what I'm going to tell you too. I listened to you on commentary on that show. Fantastic job, by the way. You did very well. So you got some room to grow. I'm not saying that you're there, but you've got room to grow.
Yep.
And I want to see
that.
I want to see some things in 2024 from Pat. Besides sitting on this podcast the whole time and just listening, give me some ideas, Pat, because you're a really smart kid, and you know you've got a little Jim Ross in you. You got a little flair in you. You got a little bit of that touch that we don't see a lot. And it was actually a good idea for Tony and Nate to put you on that. And when they asked me about what do you think about you being on commentary, the first thing I said, well, is let's just see what he's got. And I heard it. You did a fantastic job. I wish Andrew was on here because I wanted to thank him too, but I guess he's not. But anyway, Tom,
Someone's about to die.
send Andrew, tell Andrew. But anyway, guys, like I said, I'm gonna bounce off here. But again, everybody, let's rock it in 2024. 2023 was a hell of a year. But let's make 2024 even better.
Yep. Well,
all right.
Happy New Year, T. Talk to you later.
Happy New Year, T.
I appreciate everything you said, T. It means a lot coming from you. Like, I hold you in high regards. Like, I'm not just saying that just to say it. Like, I appreciate you. And before you get off, I want to say, like, one of my favorite, like, stories from the past year was when I was wrestling with SP8. And I went down to pin him. He already knows what I'm going to say. And he did the big boy fucking, like, kick out. And I went to go land my feet. And I landed on T-Rex's hand. and I felt so bad after that. After the match, I went up to T-Rex. I said, in the locker room, I said, T-Rex, are you okay? Like, I'm so sorry about the end. He said, it's all good, man. Like, you didn't mean to do it or anything, but like, to this day, I still feel so bad for landing on his hand.
Nah, here's before I go. You did the big head kick out. You know I've had a guy by the name of Kodiak Jack come down on my hand. That guy was 500 pounds when he did. So to say the least, I think I'd rather take you kicking in my hand than have Kodiak Jack at 500 pounds fall on it.
We're about to have the Tomcat Jones T-Rex podcast.
No, but now I want to get my revenge. Now there's might be Tomcat Jones versus T-Rex. Now that I think about that, that'd be a classic.
I gotta wash my hands.
Just joking. Anyway, guys, let's rock it. I'll see you all in 2024. And
Happy
Hey,
New Year.
on behalf of T-Rex and my family, everybody, Happy New Year out there that's watching. We'll talk to you then.
All
Happy
right.
New Year, T-Rex.
Happy New Year, Keith. All right. Well, I know we're gonna go a little short on time here too, but as Boss Lady said, Happy New Year, Happy 2024, guys. Big things to come again. Tomcats brought it up. Some new.
Oh, I'm about to say that CPW is about to have the year of their life in 2024 because, you know, you've had big years before. You had the guys like Phoenix Kid, you've had Just Exciting, you've had Rashad Tyson as Cruiserweight Champion. But in 2024, Tomcat Jones is going to become CPW Cruiserweight Champion. And who knows? Tomcat Jones might even take those CPW Tag Team Championships. And the other champions, they better not speak my name. Because once they say my name, they're on my radar. And, you know, I'm just making my moves at this point. Like, the CPW Championship match, the Cruiserweight Championship match, Rashad had someone helping him win. I could have got someone to help me to win, but I respected Rashad at about that point, so I didn't cheat. But now that I know that what he's about, I might have to get some of my boys. But yeah, CPW, they're about to have the biggest year of their life. We just finished our last show at the Milkwood, and now we're about to have a new venue. I think it's called Hectic in Linwood, Washington. And we're gonna have a ring every show there. And let me promise you, the first title match that Tomcat has in the wrestling ring, you can guarantee that shit is in the bag. Because once I got those ropes to bounce off of, once I got that top rope to jump off of, there's no stopping me. Because once I'm in that squared circle, it's like I'm back in the animal kingdom. Okay? That's where Tomcat thrives. So if you are tired of all these other promotions that just do shows, if you want to go to a promotion, catch a quick drink, maybe catch a quick cat gas after the show, come hit up Tomcat, come hit up CPW, because you don't know what you're missing till you miss it.
I think I'm actually going to try to come up and see one of your guys' shows this year. You know, I mean, I really want to start
Look
venturing
at that,
out.
Tomcat just convinced him.
Well, I've wanted to come up and see your show for a while. It's just I haven't had time, but you know,
As long as you bring Principal Tap with you.
I can probably bring the Principal Tap. I can't promise Messiah, but you know, he's the boring one anyway. So yeah, that would probably be, you know, you give the cat one compliment and you're his best friend. You see that, Tap?
Yep.
Even though you said that shit about basketball the other day, I'll forgive you.
So,
Yeah,
anyway.
I just won't brag about my accomplishments in Special Olympics
You know, it's not that
because there's
special
just way
because
too
I'm not
many.
in it. It's not special because Tomcat's not there.
All I can say, Tomcat, is there's just too many accomplishments that I've made, but there's one I still haven't accomplished yet.
Is that Tomcat Jones and Pittsburgh Tap Inclusion Pro Wrestling Champions? Tag Team
No.
Champions?
No, unfortunately, I haven't achieved competing in the USA Games yet.
USA Games?
That is my final goal.
I know
Yeah,
this podcast is going a little later, but what game are you going for? Are you going for like soccer or football?
I'm really hoping that I can go for flag football.
Next show, either I will bring a football or you can bring a football. We'll run some routes. Because I'm not saying I'm the greatest football player, but I didn't play in high school because I didn't get good grades. But in 6th grade, I played wide receiver. And in 7th grade, I broke my wrist playing street football, so I couldn't play football. In 8th grade, I was going out for wide receiver, but I ended up being the quarterback, cornerback, and kicker.
But if I can do it and I can lose enough weight and get a little faster in swimming, I wouldn't mind being selected for swimming.
Hey, Pittsburgh Tap, if you want to make the commitment, I'm gonna quit wrestling, gain 30 pounds, and join football. Let's do it, me and you. You want to be my center?
That's the position I play in our flag football.
Okay, have you heard about 7-on-7 football?
Yeah,
Where it's
I kind of prefer 5-on-5.
Is it basically the same rules where it's one center, one quarterback, and then the other receivers?
Yes.
We're saying stuff
The
that
only
Heartbreaker
difference
doesn't even know.
the only differences between regular football and Special Olympics football is there's no punting in Special Olympics and there's no field goals. And there's only one first down.
So the real question is, do you think I could make the Special Olympics football team?
Yes.
Okay. Well, Vince open tryouts.
we know you. We know you could.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Well, Vince open tryouts, Tap. I'm gonna go to
It will
open
be
tryouts.
until what? September of next year?
Yeah, September.
And what do I got to say to be accepted?
You're already accepted.
Yep.
Autism the Inclusion Podcast accepted me. Oh, I can't wait. Are you? I'm just flustered right now. Like, are you ready to take gold in the Special Olympics?
I have to be honest, in football I've been 8 years state champ.
Okay, but you've been state champs. Have you been national champs?
No, we're still hoping to be selected.
Yeah, you're gonna catch my ass throwing touchdown passes wearing a Tomcat mask.
Oh my god.
Heartbreakers, like, this podcast gone 30 minutes too long.
Yeah.
No, it's fine. On that happy note, you guys stay on a minute. We'll stop the stream. Happy New Year, everybody.
Have a good one, guys.